You're not supposed to use party lights, okay? Novelty lights, okay? An extension cord in a permanent application. I get that. You turn this light on and it comes on. You're not supposed to bootleg an extension cord out of a light fixture. You're not supposed to do that. I mean, it's a good idea. And if your surface drain, how about that? That's just surface drain in patio areas clogged with bricks. And maybe they made that. You know, maybe it came with this custom patio. Your post tension ends are not supposed. They can be sealed a little better. Gas piping coming into the house. This valve does not close very well. This is pretty scary. If I had trouble with it, you're going to have trouble with it. And, you know, it's not going to heal. It's going to get worse. So, the tree shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to the structure. We got some erosion around here. This is our grounding rod. This is our electric grounding rod. We only have one rod. Okay, we should have 2 rods within 6 feet. I'm not seeing it. 3 unit number D. I already have this apart for us. Okay, we got 100 amp service. In some municipalities, okay, 100 is all the code requires. That's all that's required. But some municipalities require 125. Others require 150. They require different amounts of amperage, you know, other than 100. 100 is a minimum as per required by code. This is your electric meter right here. These boxes should have been sealed on 3 sides to help moisture infiltration. This box should have been sealed on 3 sides to help prevent moisture infiltration into it. This is where L1 and L2 come into the house, and this is your neutral. Okay, now your bonding location should be labeled inside of this cabinet, and it's not. And L1 and L2 should have been covered with anti-conductive. You know, if you don't know that's hot, you don't belong in this box. I get that, but they should have been covered. They should have been covered with anti-conductive. Usually they're neoprene is what I've been seeing. I've been seeing some like plasticized cardboard, but non-conductive. Like this is non-conductive, so I can get in there. Now see this paste? This is aluminum coming into the house, which is okay. Stranded cable aluminum that's bolted in like that. That's not aluminum wiring. Okay, don't everybody get excited. I'm excited. So, but we have antioxidant paste. There's some argument that antioxidant paste isn't required. Okay, but the Texas Real Estate Commission says if this paste isn't here, then I gotta call it out. So what do we learn? We learn that we do not have our covers. We learn that our bonding location isn't labeled. We learn that we got 1 ground. Do we? 1 ground, 2 grounds. No, the neighbors are coming in and using your ground. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not seeing 2 grounding rods though. So we move on all along. We're movers. Mentioned erosion, tree closer than 25 feet to the house. Coming on along. The garage casement around the door. It's not supposed to be this close. It's not supposed to be this close to the driveway, to the cement. It's not supposed to be close like that. Okay? It's called capillary action. The cement gets wet. It sucks the moisture up into the wood rots. I get that. They were trying to do a good thing by sealing that up. You know, no good deed goes unpunished. So, I mean, you know, the best intentions. It's kind of like the patio lights outside. We move into the garage, and I've been having some trouble with this. This is the electric load center. Okay? L1 and L2 are coming in. Do they have the antioxidant paste on them? No, they don't. Are they required to have the antioxidant paste on them? Well, I've been into this again. Now, here's interesting. You know the booties I was talking about, the neoprene covers? At this point in time, maybe later, but at this point in time, they're not required on there. But you should have some antioxidant paste on there as per the Texas Real Estate Commission. Okay, then our main neutral is coming in. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's our ground. This is our neutral. Comes into this bus. And it should be wrapped with white tape, like the other one was. We do not have white tape right here. See that there. All right. See these little pokers? They put them on every cabinet. They build thousands of cabinets an hour. Okay, why do they come out this far? Why do they waste that much plastic in scale, thousands and thousands all across the United States? Because this is called a clue. These cables are not supposed to extend out past these little blocks, these curbs. The cabinet cables are not supposed to be in direct contact with the cabinet cover. This cabinet cover, this cabinet, okay, load center, if you will, okay, it's screwed into the wall. That's not usually a bad thing. It's screwed in with drywall screws. Drywall screws rust. Drywall screws get weak. Drywall screws are not designed to hold cabinets in. Drywall screws are not designed for framing. They're designed for drywall. They'll pop. If the structure was to have, like, experience a tornado, for example, you know, hopefully if it was secured with the proper screws or the proper nails, the proper fasteners, that it would stay with the wood and it wouldn't pop out on the floor like a pimple and the first responders had to step over it. See, hopefully you wouldn't have to do that. You wouldn't have to do that. So we're coming in here, and I don't know if it's, yeah, it's still here. If you look real close, you can see yellow crayon. I was having trouble getting these GFCIs to trip and reset. They were causing some trouble. They're working now. I loosened them up. That's why you're supposed to test them once a month. So, but since they were acting funny for me, they're going to make the report. And the electrician's probably going to come in here and tell you, well, they work fine now. What happened was you haven't used them in a long time. You didn't test them like you're supposed to. And then the inspector came in here and he did this and he did that. And everything's fine. You know, just hush. Okay, well, that's fine. But that's the way they were acting for me. So we're coming on along in here. Now, not only are these go past this, they come in. It should not be in contact with the panel cover. Should not be. Bonding location. I couldn't find it in the other panel, so I expect to see it in here. I haven't found bonding yet. I don't know where this house is bonded. If I find bonding, I'll tell you. It'll be on the report if I find it. But in the meantime, it wasn't labeled inside of the cabinet. Inside of the cabinet, we'll look over here. Labeling. Well, look at this. You know what this is? This is handwriting. Over here where it says danger, it says Eton, that's printing. Now the manufacturer and code, both, they specify, they use words like shall. I use words like should. But they the manufacturer and code both believe that these should have been printed durable. See where it says AB, 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 see where it says all this, it should have been printed. Not handwritten. So what do we learn? We learned that we only got one ground. We learned that our bonding location is not labeled. We learned that our breaker box is not sealed on the outside. We learned that we do not have protective covers on L1 and L2 in the other cabinet. It doesn't apply to this one. The other cabinet has antioxidant paste. This one does not have antioxidant paste. We learned that our main neutral coming in, L1, L2, is not wrapped with white tape. We learned that we've had a history of breakers not resetting. We learned that we shouldn't have an extension cord used in a permanent location, and that these outlets over here have been wired in such a way that they've been causing problems and confusion inside of this cabinet. We learned this cabinet was screwed into place. We learned something else. See that right there? Get in there. Those are neutrals. Those are white hots. These are grounds. You can double lug a ground. It only carries current in emergency. But white hots carry current every time you turn a switch on and off. And you're not supposed to double lug those, just like you're not supposed to double lug these. And so what we've got here is we got double lug neutrals. That's what we learned. We learned that our cabinet was screwed into place. We learned that our cables are touching the cabinet cover. We learned that our cabinet is not properly labeled. And we learned that don't come out here barefoot, because I guess they were, doing weights or something. I don't know. I'm guessing. And then, the graphic online shows some stuff. Maybe we get a clue. But, if you come out here without sandals or shoes, you're liable to need stitches. That you could, you could cut your foot on that. We learned that too.